First Sad Satan, the digital abyss. In the sweltering summer of 2015, a shadowy corner of the internet stirred with whispers of a game that seemed to crawl out from the darkest recesses of the human psyche. On June 25th, a YouTube channel known as Obscure Horror Corner unveiled Sad Satan, a game that defied every convention of gaming and plunged players into a nightmarish labyrinth of dread. The channel's creator, a mysterious figure named Jamie, uploaded the first of 5 gameplay videos, each one peeling back layers of a digital enigma that would soon captivate and horrify the online world. Unlike any horror game before it, Sad Satan wasn't about jump scares, monsters, or survival. There were no objectives, no clear narrative, no resolution, only an oppressive, suffocating atmosphere that clung to players like damp fog. The game dropped you into a first-person perspective, forcing you to wander through dimly lit, claustrophobic corridors that seemed to stretch endlessly. The walls, textured with grainy monochrome static, pulsed with an almost sentient malice. Every step echoed with the weight of unseen eyes watching, waiting. The audio was a cacophony of torment, reversed music that clawed at your sanity, warped screams that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere, and chilling snippets of real-life serial killer interviews that surfaced without warning, their voices dripping with cold detachment. What made Sad Satan truly unsettling, however, wasn't just its atmosphere. It was the grotesque, cryptic content that flickered across the screen at random intervals. Full-screen flashes assaulted players with disturbing imagery. Black and white photographs of grotesque statues, cryptic symbols that seemed to burn into your retinas, and mugshots of criminals whose hollow eyes bore into your soul. Some images were outright horrifying. References to cults, Latin phrases that hinted at ancient, forbidden rituals, and, most infamously, recurring appearances of Jimmy Savile, the disgraced British TV host whose decades of heinous crimes had only recently come to light. His leering face, distorted and grainy, seemed to taunt players, as if the game itself was complicit in his legacy of depravity. As players delved deeper, a ghostly child began to appear in the corridors, a pale, silent figure with hollow eyes that seemed to follow your every move. In the final gameplay video uploaded by Obscure Horror Corner, this spectral child grew more aggressive, stalking the player through the maze with relentless persistence. There was no escape, no way to fight back. The game culminated in a chilling climax. The child caught the player, and the screen faded to black, leaving only silence and the haunting sense that you'd glimpsed something you were never meant to see. The mystery deepened on July 7th, 2015, when a download link for Sad Satan surfaced on 4chan's paranormal board, a digital underworld where the bizarre and forbidden thrived. Those who dared to download it quickly realized they'd stumbled into something far more sinister than a mere game. This version, dubbed the Clone, was a corrupted monstrosity. It contained extreme gore, images of mutilated bodies that seared themselves into the minds of those unfortunate enough to witness them. Worse still, there were allegations of child pornography embedded within the files, a revelation that turned curiosity into revulsion. The Clone also harbored malware, a digital venom that infected computers, crashing systems and leaving users paranoid that their devices had been compromised by something far more malevolent than code. Jamie, the elusive creator of Obscure Horror Corner, vehemently denied any connection to the Clone, claiming the version he played was clean and free of illegal content. But his story was riddled with inconsistencies. He claimed to have discovered Sad Satan on the dark web, sent to him by an anonymous user known only as ZK through a hidden Tor service. Yet when pressed for details, Jamie's explanations grew vague, and the original download links he provided led to dead ends. Skeptics began to wonder, was Jamie a victim, a hoaxer, or something far worse? The internet became obsessed with decoding Sad Satan's true purpose. The name itself, derived from reversed audio of Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven, hinted at satanic undertones. The Latin phrases and cult references fueled theories that the game was a digital altar for some unspeakable ideology. Many believed it was a twisted commentary on child abuse, with Savile's presence and the ghostly children serving as grim symbols of innocence violated. Others speculated it was a psychological experiment designed to prey on players' fears and push them to the brink of paranoia. As the controversy swelled, Obscure Horror Corner went silent, its final video uploaded in a haze of unanswered questions. Jamie vanished and the channel was abandoned, leaving Sad Satan to fester in the collective imagination of the internet. Fans attempted to salvage the game, creating clean versions stripped of the illegal content. But even these felt tainted, as if the game's malevolence lingered in its very code. To this day, Sad Satan remains an enigma, a digital ghost that haunts those who dare to seek it. Its origins, its creator, and its true purpose are shrouded in darkness, a reminder that some mysteries are too dangerous to unravel. 2. Lake City. Quiet Pills, the Shadow Network. In the spring of 2009, a Reddit user known as Religion of Peace posted a link that would plunge the online world into one of its most disturbing and perplexing mysteries. The user, later revealed to be a man named Milo, was no stranger to controversy. As a moderator of the infamous r/jailbait subreddit, a cesspool of illegal content that Reddit would eventually ban, Milo already carried a dark reputation. But his next move would cast a shadow far beyond the confines of Reddit, drawing internet sleuths into a labyrinth of cryptic codes, covert operations, and chilling real-world connections. On May 18, 2009, Milo shared a link to a website called LakeCityQuietPills.com, describing it cryptically as that old guy's image host. At first glance, the site appeared mundane, a simple platform for uploading images, its interface unremarkable and utilitarian. But the name itself, Lake City Quiet Pills, sent a chill down the spines of those who stumbled upon it. It was too deliberate, too evocative, hinting at something far more sinister beneath its innocuous facade. The phrase quiet pills conjured images of silence, secrecy, and perhaps something deadly, a euphemism that refused to be ignored. Milo himself was an enigma. He claimed to be an 80-year-old war veteran, boasting of his involvement in conflicts as far back as the Cold War and even the Battle of Normandy. His posts were a strange blend of bravado and esoteric knowledge, impressing some with his apparent expertise while raising skepticism among others. How could an octogenarian be so active on Reddit, navigating its chaotic forums with the dexterity of a digital native? His tales of military exploits felt embellished, yet his command of military jargon lent them an unsettling plausibility. The mystery took a darker turn on July 17, 2009, when Milo posted his final Reddit comment, a scathing rant about spam content that seemed uncharacteristically mundane. Mere hours later, a new user named 2-6 emerged, announcing Milo's death with cold brevity. According to 2-6, Milo had passed away at his desk, leaving behind no family, no heirs, and only a handful of personal belongings. The abruptness of the announcement, coupled with the lack of verifiable details, sent shockwaves through Reddit's investigative communities. Who was 2-6? And why did Milo's death feel less like an end and more like the beginning of something far more ominous? Driven by curiosity and suspicion, Redditors began digging into LakeCityQuietPills.com. What they uncovered was nothing short of chilling. Hidden within the site's source code were cryptic messages that read like job postings for a shadow world. These weren't advertisements for office clerks or baristas. They were coded directives for covert operations. One posting called for 12 ESS, Spanish-speaking, no papers required, while another sought 4 for 24/7 DP, English speakers, Spanish fluency, a plus. The language was dense with military acronyms and obscure terms, impenetrable to the uninitiated. A user with knowledge of espionage slang pointed out that WWW stood for wet work, a euphemism for assassinations. Suddenly, the site's innocuous image hosting facade began to crumble, revealing a potential hub for something far more sinister. The plot thickened in 2010, when a real-world event seemed to align with the site's cryptic postings. On January 19, 2010, Mahmoud Al-Mabhouh, a Hamas arms dealer, was assassinated in a Dubai hotel, suffocated by a team of operatives who entered the country using forged identities. The operation was meticulous, professional, and shrouded in secrecy. Coincidentally, or perhaps not, this was the exact date of a party mentioned in the source code of LakecityQuietPills.com. The site detailed expenses for this event: hotel rooms, transportation, medical supplies, and other costs totaling nearly $94,000. The precision of the accounting, combined with the timing of al-Mabhou's assassination, led many to speculate that the party was a thinly veiled cover for a contract killing. The connection felt too precise to be mere coincidence, and the internet buzzed with theories of a global network of hitmen operating under the guise of an obscure website. As investigators delved deeper, they traced the account 2-6 to another alias, Angel_2-6, which had been active on other platforms like far.com since the early 2000s. The email address tied to Angel_2-6 was linked directly to the LakecityQuietPills.com domain, forming a thread that connected a web of pseudonyms and shadowy activities. The phrase Lake City Quiet Pills itself began to take on new meaning. Some traced it to a Remington ammunition plant in Missouri, a facility that churned out billions of rounds annually. Was Quiet Pills a coded reference to bullets, the silent instruments of death? The theory gained traction, painting the site as a front for a mercenary group, perhaps ex-military operatives who had gone rogue, offering their deadly services to the highest bidder. By 2011, LakecityQuietPills.com had gone offline, its servers silent and its secrets locked away. The updates had ceased and the site vanished from the internet, leaving behind only speculation and dread. Theories abounded. Some believed it was a recruitment platform for a black ops syndicate, while others argued it was an elaborate hoax designed to toy with the internet's curiosity. The military lingo, the assassination connections, and the eerie silence that followed Milo's death suggested a truth too dangerous to uncover. To this day, the Lake City Quiet Pills saga remains one of the internet's most haunting mysteries. A digital ghost story that warns of a world where shadows wield power and secrets are worth killing for. 3. Unfavorable semicircle, the cryptic deluge. In the early months of 2015, a YouTube channel named Unfavorable Semicircle emerged from the digital void, its arrival as sudden and inexplicable as a storm on a clear day. It was a phenomenon that defied comprehension, a relentless flood of cryptic videos that captivated internet sleuths, cryptography enthusiasts, and conspiracy theorists alike. Within a year, the channel had uploaded tens of thousands of clips before YouTube abruptly banned it in 2016, leaving behind a legacy of questions and an unshakable sense that something profound and perhaps sinister had been glimpsed. The channel's debut on March 15, 2015, was deceptively unassuming. Its first video, titled with the Sagittarius zodiac symbol, followed by the numbers 23,511, was a 4-second clip of a blurry brown screen, silent and devoid of meaning. Yet there was something unsettling about its simplicity, as if it were a whispered invitation to a secret no one was meant to understand. Within days, the uploads began to multiply, each video more enigmatic than the last. By the end of its run, Unfavorable Semicircle had posted over 200,000 videos, a staggering feat that seemed to defy human capability. The videos themselves were a kaleidoscope of the bizarre. Most bore titles prefixed with the Sagittarius symbol, followed by seemingly random numbers or words like lock or delock. Their visuals ranged from pixelated dots on plain backgrounds to abstract patterns that pulsed with hypnotic rhythm. Some were blank screens, staring back at viewers like empty voids, while others featured distorted audio, static, garbled voices reading letters and numbers, or faint hums that seemed to vibrate with hidden intent. Video lengths varied wildly, from fleeting seconds to an 11-hour marathon that was almost entirely silent, yet reportedly caused some devices to crash under its weight. What set Unfavorable Semicircle apart was its sheer relentlessness. At its peak in 2016, the channel was uploading a new video every 20 seconds, a pace that suggested automation on an industrial scale. No human could sustain such output, leading to speculation that the project was orchestrated by a sophisticated program or a collective with vast resources. The question wasn't just what the videos were, but why they existed and who or what was behind them. As the channel gained notoriety, a Reddit community formed to dissect its mysteries. Theories proliferated like wildfire. Some believed Unfavorable Semicircle was a modern-day number station, a digital successor to the Cold War-era radio broadcasts used to send coded messages to spies. The random letters and numbers fit the profile, but the video's lack of structure defied the precision of traditional espionage. Others proposed it was an alternate reality game, ARG, a sprawling puzzle designed to engage players across platforms. Yet unlike most ARGs, there were no clear clues, no narrative threads to follow, only an overwhelming deluge of data that seemed to mock attempts at comprehension. A particularly intriguing theory compared Unfavorable Semicircle to WebDriver Torso, a YouTube channel Google used to test video quality, but the comparison felt hollow. The creepy visuals and haunting audio of Unfavorable Semicircle were far too elaborate for a mere technical exercise. In 2022, someone claiming to be the channel's creator surfaced, offering a vague explanation that it was an art project exploring abstraction and mystery. The claim was met with skepticism. Why would an art project require such scale, such secrecy, and such an abrupt end? Certain videos stood out as potential keys to the mystery. A series titled Lock and Delock contained flashing visuals and audio patterns that seemed to pulse with hidden meaning. Frame-by-frame analysis revealed a grainy image resembling the Voyager Golden Record, a NASA artifact sent into space to represent humanity. The discovery sent chills through the community. Why would a YouTube channel reference an interstellar message? Toward the end, a series called Brill emerged, each video numbered sequentially and more structured than the rest, as if building toward a revelation that never came. On February 25, 2016, hours after the BBC published an article about the channel, YouTube banned Unfavorable Semicircle for violating its terms of service. The official reason was unclear, though many suspected the sheer volume of uploads flagged it as spam. The ban only deepened the mystery, as YouTube offered no further explanation. In the aftermath, similar accounts briefly appeared on Google+ and Twitter, posting cryptic videos before vanishing. The final known upload, titled Reset, surfaced in 2017 and was deleted within 30 minutes, marking the end of Unfavorable Semicircle's strange odyssey. The channel's legacy endures as a digital enigma, a puzzle that resists resolution. Was it a coded message, a psychological experiment, or something far darker? The scale, the secrecy, and the fleeting glimpses of meaning suggest a purpose beyond mere art or prank. Unfavorable Semicircle is a reminder that the internet can be a place of profound mystery, where answers remain just out of reach, hidden in the static of the unknown. 4. Mortis.com, the locked vault of the internet. In the late 1990s, when the internet was still a vast, uncharted frontier, a website emerged that would become one of its most enduring and unsettling mysteries. Mortis.com, launched on November 14, 1997, was a digital enigma wrapped in shadows, a locked vault that tantalized and terrified those who stumbled upon it. Its name, derived from the Latin word for death, set the tone for a phenomenon that would haunt internet sleuths for decades, a relic of a time when the web was both a playground and a place of unspeakable secrets. At first glance, Mortis.com was deceptively simple, a black web page with a stark white login prompt, demanding a username and password. There were no instructions, no links, no hints of what lay beyond the barrier. To the casual visitor, it was a dead end, a blank wall in the digital landscape. But to those who lingered, it was a challenge, an invitation to uncover what was hidden behind its impenetrable facade. The site's minimalism was its power, a silent dare to probe deeper into a mystery that seemed to pulse with forbidden knowledge. What set Mortis.com apart wasn't just its secrecy, but its scale. Investigators discovered that the site hosted terabytes of data, an astronomical amount for the era of dial-up modems and floppy disks. One file alone was reportedly 39 gigabytes, a size that dwarfed the storage capacity of most computers at the time. The sheer volume suggested something monumental, something that required vast resources to maintain. But what could it be? A private archive? A corporate database? Or something far more sinister? The mystery deepened as internet forums like 4chan's X and G boards caught wind of the site. Users began to speculate wildly, their curiosity fueled by the site's refusal to yield its secrets. Some claimed to have briefly accessed parts of Mortis.com, downloading fragments of data before the site went offline. These fragments were said to include cryptic files with names that hinted at dark purposes, documents, videos, and audio tracks that defied easy categorization. Yet those who claimed to have seen them either vanished from the forums or refused to share details, their silence feeding rumors of coercion or fear. The site's domain was registered to a man named Ling, a figure as elusive as the site itself. Ling was linked to a web of other domains, each stranger than the last. Cthulhu.net, which displayed only the phrase "dead but dreaming", EternalNight.com, a single image of glowing chess pieces on a black background, and others tied to non-existent interior design firms run by people long deceased. These connections painted a picture of a digital empire built on deception, with Mortis.com at its heart. Ling, when questioned, claimed the site was merely a personal storage space for wedding photos and mundane files. A laughably inadequate explanation for a site cloaked in such secrecy and scale. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of Mortis.com was its absence from the Wayback Machine, the internet's archive of defunct websites. The site had been deliberately excluded using a robots.txt file, a rare and deliberate act that ensured no trace of its contents could be preserved. This wasn't just a website hiding its data, it was erasing its own existence, as if desperate to remain unseen. The question was why? What could be so sensitive, so dangerous, that it required such extreme measures? Theories about Mortis.com ranged from the plausible to the outlandish. Some believed it was a personal media server, a repository for pirated movies or music. But the industrial-grade encryption and cryptic file names suggested something more. Others speculated it was a front for illegal activities, a black market for drugs, weapons, or worse. The connections to empty lots, fake businesses, and a dentist's office that didn't exist fueled rumors of organized crime or human trafficking. Darker still were whispers of snuff films or classified government data hidden behind the login prompt like a digital Pandora's box. Rumors also swirled of FBI involvement. Some 4chan users claimed to have been contacted by agents warning them to stop probing the site, while others said Ling himself had pulled the plug after the site attracted too much attention. Whether these stories were true or the product of paranoia, they added to the site's aura of menace. Hackers, even those with years of experience, struggled to breach Mortis.com's defenses, a testament to the sophistication of its security. Those who got close often retreated, citing a growing sense that they were tampering with something far beyond their understanding. By the early 2000s, Mortis.com had vanished from the internet, its servers silent and its secrets intact. Yet its legacy endures as a haunting reminder of the internet's capacity for mystery. Was it a hoax, a private archive, or a gateway to something unspeakable? The exclusion from the Wayback Machine, the cryptic connections, and the whispers of federal intervention suggest a truth too dangerous to uncover. Mortis.com remains a locked vault in the digital ether, its contents a mystery that may be better left unsolved, a chilling testament to the shadows that lurk in the corners of the web.